Hello guys, in this video I'm going to explain the S.A.B.E.R synergy and what makes it easy to build. I'm going to demonstrate step by step an easy way to build the S.A.B.E.R synergy, and I'm going to discuss the challenges with building the synergy and highlight some tips and tricks to overcome the challenges. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. In the previous video I introduced the concept of the easiest synergies to build in Magic Chess. And in that video I explained the criteria used to determine what makes a synergy easy to build, as well as demonstrated how to build one of the examples, the nature spirit synergy. To get a deeper understanding of the theory of this concept, I recommend checking that video first, as I will only be making subtle references to those theories in this video. Today I will be moving to the S.A.B.E.R synergy. For those who did not know, S.A.B.E.R stands for Savior, Automator, Breacher, Exploder, and Regulator. Freya is Manhunter, but the M wasn't incorporated in the synergy name. Sad Manhunter noises. The S.A.B.E.R synergy is made up of 6 heroes. Layla. Layla is a 1 gold saber gunner hero. She has the longest range in Magic Chess, able to reach all but the enemy corner squares when she is placed on the square d3. She also does not have an active skill. Instead, she has a passive skill, Malefic Gun, which increases her basic attack damage to enemies the farther they are from her. Layla is possibly the strongest 1 gold hero in the game, the only possible competition being Mia. Therefore, she is a very good early game carry hero and mid to late game DPS. Number 2, we have S.A.B.E.R. S.A.B.E.R is a 2 gold saber swordsman hero. His skill, Orbiting Swords, unleashes 5 orbiting swords which spin around him, dealing damage to nearby enemies. His skill allows him to utilize the swordsman synergy most effectively of all swordsman heroes. However, the damage of the skill is proportional to how many heroes are around him, and as such could be very high or very low. Number 3, we have Cyclops. Cyclops is a 2 gold saber mage hero. His skill, Planet Attack, conjures 5 spheres around him, which deal damage to nearby enemies. The most important thing to note about Cyclops is that he has just 25 mana requirement, making him perfect for quick burst damage. Number 4, we have Rafaela. Rafaela is a 3 gold saber hero and is the only hero in the game with the Angel role. The Angel synergy increases the attack speed of heroes every time they are healed by an Angel hero, which synergizes very well with her skill, Holy Healing, which restores HP to herself and the ally with the lowest HP. Though she is a 3 gold hero, she cannot be gotten from the selection stage. Number 5, we have Freya. Freya is a 3 gold saber weapon master Northern Vale hero, and is one of the most popular hyper carries in Magic Chess history. Her skill, Valkyrie, increases her attack damage, gives her basic attack splash damage, and generates a massive shield. When combined with the Northern Vale synergy, she becomes a monster. Freya is the main carry of the S.A.B.E.R synergy and the lineup is built around her. And finally, number 6, we have Johnson. Johnson is a 4 gold saber guardian hero. His skill, Rapid Touchdown, transforms him into a car and transports him to the area with the most enemies, dealing burst and continuous AoE damage to nearby enemies. Johnson is the main tank of the S.A.B.E.R synergy, but for this video's concept we will try not to use him. The S.A.B.E.R synergy adds a new unit to the game, the Unitron. The Unitron is a robotic soldier that deals massive damage to enemies and when destroyed, dies in an explosion which stuns all enemy heroes. The Unitron can hold up to 3 saber heroes and inherits a portion of their HP and physical attack. The amount inherited depends on the level of the synergy. The 3 hero synergy summons 1 Unitron, while the 6 hero synergy summons 2 Unitrons. 3 Unitrons can be summoned with the Mystic Star Core. Going by the synergy description, the punchline of the S.A.B.E.R synergy is the Unitrons. The Unitrons can either be used defensively as tanks to protect damage dealers, or offensively as damage dealers protected by tanks. Which route is more advised? The Unitrons gain a small percentage of the HP of the heroes it carries. Therefore, it is slightly less tanky than its unit heroes. However, they inherit a significantly higher percentage of the physical attack of the unit heroes. This suggests that the Unitrons would be more effective offensively as opposed to using them as tanks. Note however that they can still be used as tanks, as the stun is very good for adding chain crowd control to enemies. This video will focus on the offensive route of using the Unitrons, which is having the Unitrons do damage from a safe distance. I should mention that the Unitrons also spawn on the front line, specifically they spawn on D1. Manipulating the spawn locations of the Unitrons will be discussed later on. The point to note right now is that the Unitrons spawn on the front row by default. This means the supporting synergy must as well be a frontline synergy. This way the Unitrons can be protected from damage. The frontline roles of the S.A.B.E.R faction are the Guardian, Weapon Master and Swordsman roles. Yes, I am counting the Swordsman role as a frontline role for this video. Of course, the Swordsman role can't frontline much, so the two options left are the Guardian and Weapon Master synergies. Remember that the main hero in the S.A.B.E.R synergy is Freya, and to efficiently use her, the Weapon Master synergy is a must. As such, the secondary synergy to be used in this lineup is the Weapon Master synergy. Another advantage of using the Weapon Master synergy is the fact that the Unitrons can recover HP with the synergy, allowing them to sustain a little more. This strategy is pushed to the limit when you have the S.A.B.E.R star core Dark. Dark increases the physical and magic defense of the carrier by 500 for every Unitron alive. This means that with 2 Unitrons, the carrier gets 1000 hybrid defense for free. The only hero worth carrying this core is Johnson, as apart from being the main tank of the synergy anyway, his skill, Rapid Touchdown, transports him to the area with the most enemies, ensuring they focus him, hence protecting the Unitrons. The Mystic Star Core is another special core for the S.A.B.E.R synergy. The carrier of the Mystic Core creates its own Unitron, for a total of 3, and this Unitron inherits 100% physical attack and HP. This core is best equipped on Freya, as she has the highest physical attack and second highest HP. It can also be equipped on Johnson, as he has the highest HP, and when his Unitron is destroyed, he can use his skill to add more chain crowd control. The Water Star core is preferably equipped on Johnson to add a freeze effect to his skills, and the Fire core is good for him as his high HP will increase the damage of the Star core. The Thunder and Wind cores are best equipped on Freya to increase her DPS. The Earth core is a little bit of a wild card, as none of the S.A.B.E.R heroes can confidently cast a skill more than once in a round. You could equip it on Freya to increase her shield when entering Valkyrie state. Before we get into the tutorial, let's talk about Rafaela. Her synergy increases the attack speed of the hero she heals by 20% and can stack up to 10 times. Thinking about it objectively, it would be much better if the synergy increased the attack speed by 200% but only triggers once, because 10 stacks for a skill she barely casts in a round, it is not worth it at all. If 200% is much, 100% should be enough. Just make it worth healing. Estes and the Astromancer synergy got a reasonable buff. Although it still isn't decisive, it's much better than before. So hopefully next season. Now to build this synergy, the things you are going to need: the commander skill Super Launcher, that is Fanny's skill 3. The heroes Sun, Bane, Zilong, Julian, Johnson or Rafaela, Freya, Franco, S.A.B.E.R, Cyclops and Layla. Notice that there are 10 heroes in the lineup. This is an advantage of using Super Launcher. And the equipment, you want to equip the tank set for Johnson, the mage set for Cyclops, but the enchanted talisman goes on Rafaela. The physical attack set goes on Layla, and the attack speed set goes on Freya. For the star cores, your primary star core should be S.A.B.E.R and your secondary star core should be Weapon Master. And now, here's how to build. Number 1, pick Freya in the selection stage. Then add the other common S.A.B.E.R heroes, that is Layla, S.A.B.E.R, Cyclops and Rafaela. Then don't forget to add Franco as well. Next up, you want to pick the S.A.B.E.R star core, that is your primary core. Then you want to pick the Weapon Master star core as your secondary core and add Julian, Zilong and Sun. And the last step is to place a hero on the launcher when it's complete and add Bane to the lineup. The first 6 heroes of this lineup are Freya, Rafaela, S.A.B.E.R, Cyclops, Franco and Layla. After getting the S.A.B.E.R star core, the synergy counter would be 6 S.A.B.E.R and 1 Angel. You would need one more weapon master to trigger the synergy. To get through the first 5 rounds, you might trigger the 3 weapon master synergy with either Martis or Benedetta and replace them with a complete S.A.B.E.R synergy. At this point though, do not sell the Martis or Benedetta. Instead, place them on the launcher if it is completed. Basically, with Super Launcher as your commander skill, you can maintain the 3 times weapon master synergy from the early game, which will be very important. However, remember that the other weapon masters you need are Sun, Zilong and Julian, so be ready to remove Martis or Benedetta when the time comes. Julian is a good addition because he can get 2 mage with Cyclops. Sun and Zilong can be used to get 3 pHeeDr Riverlands if you manage to get a Science Crystal. You can do this by adding a Kai, as this will trigger 2 Guardian with Johnson. Speaking of Johnson, you remember I mentioned earlier that we should try not to use him in this video? Yeah, that won't work. Johnson is just too important for the synergy to properly function, especially if you have the Dark Star core. Replace S.A.B.E.R or Rafaela with Johnson whenever you can. Very quickly, let's run through my favorite part of these tutorials, and that is positioning. I mentioned earlier that the Unitrons always spawn on the front row, particularly on D1. When you have only one Unitron, you should ensure that the square D1 is always free. For this, place Franco on E1 and Martis or Benedetta on C1 to cover the sides of the Unitron. When you have 2 Unitrons, the plan changes slightly. With 2 Unitrons, you want to have the Unitron spawning one on either half of the board. You can do this by blocking square D1 by placing a non-S.A.B.E.R hero, such as Franco. This way, the 2 Unitrons will spawn on C1 and E1. Now, assuming you have blocked these 3 squares, C1, D1 and E1, the Unitrons will spawn a little further, that is on B1 and F1. Now, assume you have these 5 squares blocked. This can only be done in the deep late game when you have Sun, Zilong, Julian, Franco and Bane. The Unitrons will spawn in the far corners on A1 and G1. Personally, I prefer this as it is the safest arrangement, having one Unitron siege from one corner. Don't forget however that the launcher will send a hero to D1. This doesn't affect you though, just place a non-S.A.B.E.R hero there. I personally like using Franco on the launcher. The S.A.B.E.R heroes should be arranged on the 3rd row. From this position, you can see that the ideal situation is that the Unitrons are protected from damage, while the non-S.A.B.E.R heroes soak up all the damage. To this end, the best items are tank items, and they should be equipped on the frontline heroes to help them soak more damage. The same goes for attack speed items. These will be very well used on Sun and Zilong. Mage items can go on Julian for more damage. Physical items, however, should go on S.A.B.E.R heroes, as the Unitrons inherit physical attack and increases it exponentially. Therefore, equipping items that increase physical attack significantly increases the damage of the Unitrons. In conclusion, the S.A.B.E.R synergy is a 3-6 hero synergy which summons mech suits to fight enemies and is made up of 6 heroes: Layla, S.A.B.E.R, Cyclops, Rafaela, Freya and Johnson. The synergy is best combined with the Weapon Master synergy to provide a solid front line to protect the Unitrons, while simultaneously healing the Unitron based on its damage. It can be built by picking Freya in the selection stage, picking the S.A.B.E.R star core as the primary core and the Weapon Master core as the secondary core, and using these 10 heroes: Sun, Bane, Zilong, Julian, Johnson, Freya, Cyclops, S.A.B.E.R, Franco and Layla, and the commander skill Super Launcher, which facilitates the building with the extra space provided. The lineup can be strengthened by equipping the non-S.A.B.E.R heroes with tank, attack speed or magic items, and equipping the S.A.B.E.R heroes with physical attack items. The spawn location of the Unitrons can be controlled by blocking the squares on the front row, leaving only the desired spawn location. And with that, I have come to the end of this video. Make sure to check out the previous one for better understanding of the concept of the easiest synergy to build in Magic Chess, as well as seeing how to build the Nature Spirit synergy. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The next video will be about the Wrestler synergy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.